We met in 78, I think. And then we talked about having a meeting of anybody that might be interested. First thing I did was I found out there was a group in Canada that had been organized from the top down. But anyway, this was how we decided it should go, maybe from the bottom up. What this needs is a family-based national organization to help the families. What are you going to do? How are they going to take care of their patients, you know? What is this terrible disease? How bad is it really going to get? All those kinds of questions.
When we first got the diagnosis, I didn't know what the questions were even. I didn't know what I didn't know. And there was all these unknowns that scare you. And so I think it helped me confront my fear.
As much as I didn't want to hear the diagnosis, it was scarier to not know what the heck was going on. I certainly never let anybody else know what was going on. And it's a real gift now to be able to do that honestly and know that it's okay.
I think early diagnosis helped, from my point of view, because there's knowledge to be had, to know the questions that you want to ask, that you ought to be asking, to know what some of the answers were, to know what the resources are, to start working on and to anticipating what's coming, and to prepare for what's coming. And you can't do that if you don't have the diagnosis.
You have to have a support group. You can only talk about the Alzheimer's subjects with those who are currently experiencing the same journey. And you have permission to talk about things that are difficult, that you wouldn't raise with even your best friends because they have no context. It's just a place of familiarity with others that gives you permission to relieve your emotional stress.
I remember the day because we were sitting at our lunch table, and I had lunch with all my friends at that time, and I just said my father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and they didn't say anything. They were just really quiet, and I didn't know if they were scared or I didn't know. And then finally, once I started getting involved with the Alzheimer's Association, they kind of just opened up. You don't really realize how many people are affected until you start talking about it.
Because you're just really vulnerable. You're very open, you're broken. It breaks you. And in that brokenness, that's when something powerful can happen, when you're at that point of total surrender. And this has the capacity to take you there over and over and over again, if you let it.
So the driving force in this whole organization from the start was the ones who wanted the research desperately, and the ones who said, well, help us now. It's how it ended up anyway. And look how far you've come.
Well, I do hope to see a cure. That's why I'm doing this. I want to see a cure. I don't want to have any other kid go through what I had to go through at 13 years old.
The Alzheimer's Association has been a major supporter of research efforts in Alzheimer's disease. The volunteers and supporters of the Alzheimer's Association perform a key function for advancing research in the field. It is hoped that Alzheimer's Association Trial Match will in fact increase enrollment in many clinical trials going forward, which could be a very key factor for developing new therapies in the field.
The solutions really require, I think, a community effort. It's a lot about removing the stigma. It's about people understanding. You know, one of the things that bothers me is when people withdraw from society. They should be accepted. People should understand what they're going through and provide them support.
Our mission is to educate our community, to educate the doctors, the police officers, the people in businesses, just make our community Alzheimer's safe.
And that means we have to work with the medical community, we have to work with state bureaucracies, we have to work with state educational institutions, we have to work with communities. There's a whole variety of people with whom we need to interface, whose help we need in making this what we call a dementia competent state.
Well, the kids are our future, and those are the kids who are going to grow up to be the doctors or the lawyers or the caregivers who are going to find the cure or help someone who has Alzheimer's. So to get them educated early can really help us in the long run.
But I think I'm most proud of probably the people, the thousands that we've helped, millions, probably millions.
It gave me some hope, like it's not just all wasteland ahead, that there's a lot of joy in life to be lived.
We were so innocent. We threw a stone in a pond and it made a tsunami. It was amazing.